Yo, how's it going? I'm Virtual Paradise, and this video is going to be a tutorial for how to smooth out your filming using the replay editor in SKATER XL. This is using version 0.0.5, so if you're watching this after January 2019, then you may have more features already. You may have your own methods for setting up your editing already, but this is just what I find to be one of the most efficient ways of filming smooth, especially with the fact that you can't save clips to edit later yet, so you have to edit and film it on the fly. So you don't have to, but you can set the start and the end of your clips with brackets to edit just so you don't accidentally go right back to the beginning or anything. This is useful especially if you have a long replay time. I usually like to have mine around 30 seconds, but it goes all the way up to 300 seconds in the replay editor. So set your FOV vaguely to what you want it to be. Obviously you've got long lens and then the more short fisheye lens effect. So when I got my lens set up, I'll usually just sort of play through the line and try and follow him. It's a bit hard at the moment because the movements are so slow even with the sliders all the way up. But just to kind of gauge what angles you think will look good. And like with this at the end, I want it to go on this side of the ball, I think. And always put the end of the clip more forward than you think because you'll need that extra room later. So you can start at the end or the beginning, but I'm going to put my keyframe at the end here. So I'm going to set my first keyframe near the skater at the beginning. For a line that curves like this, it's good to have the camera just cut straight across the line like this as a good template. Always try and have like at least a few seconds before the first trick and a few seconds after the last trick edited, so you've got more room when it comes to editing a video, because it looks very janky if the camera just stops abruptly. So I'm going to set a key marker just after he lands on the last trick, just so we got a rough idea where we want the camera to stop or start stopping. And I'll set one just before he pops on the first trick as well, at about the angle that I want it to be. So I may as well pull the camera back here and start following him vaguely, because there's going to be a lot of tweaking on the way, and a lot of keyframes are going to be used. Cool. Right, see how it just linearly just heads straight towards the last but one marker? But smoothing these straight lines out is what this video is about. Right, I'm going to find the point just after he lands the nollie heel now, and place a key marker here. And this will give a bit more of a curve shape to the camera on the line already. Okay, I think that'll work. And straight through the ball. Let's just work a bit of a better angle on this so it doesn't go through the ball. That's nicer. So let's start tidying up the beginning of the line. So you just want to try and compensate for the direction changes on the keyframes. So if you see, I'm just basically gradually adding just little micro movements, but every movement makes a difference. So we'll tidy this bit up on the nollie heel now. Just start adding a couple of keyframes when he starts sort of turning. It's kind of finding key points and making sure that everything you want to capture is in frame. It's good to kind of look at the ground as the camera's moving as well to see if you need to move it a bit more left or right. And when you're watching it through, you know, watch it with an eagle's eye. And whenever you see something jarring, just set a keyframe just before or just after it, or change that keyframe so it compensates for the direction a bit more, and that'll smooth it out. So this is starting to take a lot more shape now. Still a bit out of frame on that nollie heel, so Let's move this around, give it a bit more of a curve. That's looking pretty good. And then you can see where we need to curve this out straight away. So we obviously need to bring the camera more to the left now because it starts moving right too abruptly. Keyframes, just as they're pushing, are quite important as well because of the change of speed. You want to make sure that the camera's still following along. And especially if it's like this, where it's just before the last trick, where you want the camera to start slowing down after. So obviously we got our basic template curve, but like I was saying earlier, we needed that extra room. But now we can just gradually move it forward, and as long as we're following the line, you might have to fiddle with this a lot, as you can imagine, just because if you're not quite following the line, the camera can appear to go quite janky. And keep watching for the abrupt direction changes in slow motion as well. That's a bit smoother. Alright, so that's the template up to the end, so now I'll tweak it a bit, and then I think I'll probably just show you the end where I slow it down. So this is the hardest part, I find anyway. But it's all just about those micro adjustments. And at the point between the last two keyframes, where it suddenly slows down, that's where you want to put a keyframe just after the last but one keyframe, and move the camera forward a bit, so it doesn't slow down as much, and then do that sequentially a few times and it should come to a nice slow. It'll take a bit of playing around with, but you should get used to it. But especially as there's no curving between keyframes or anything at the moment, every single motion counts. That's pretty smooth. Now it's just about going back through and watching it and checking out for the bits that you just want to change a little bit. It is one of those things that it just depends on how much time you want to spend on actually editing the clip. This clip took nearly 15 minutes to film. I'll carry on showing some of the tweaks that I'm doing at the end here, just in case they're quite useful to pick up. But apart from that, that's basically the gist of it. And you can apply this to, you know, most lines and tricks. Obviously single tricks on just obstacles are a lot easier because you're not moving the camera as far. A line that's in a straight line is even easier to film again. That's why I chose to do one with a curve, so I could sort of show you how to curve it as well. Long lens shots are easier because you don't need as many keyframes, but it's still again quite complicated if you want those nice pull away shots, etc. And the same technique obviously applies with vertical motion for moving the camera up and down. Really, I think it just comes down to practicing with the replay editor though. So that's a lot of keyframes for this clip, and I could smooth it out even more, but I'm not going to just because I'm not using it for a video or anything. So let's have one more look at the final result. So that is how I smooth out my filming in SKATER XL. Please drop a like on the video if it helped you out, or if you have any other tips, please put them in the comments below for other people to see. Hopefully there will be updates to the replay editor with motion arc in between keyframes and different levels of shape to add more realism and stuff like that. but so far this game to me is already the boss of the PC skate games. So thanks for watching, subscribe for future videos and tutorials. I've split my channel now, so this channel is going to be solely for skateboarding, and my other channel for open world survival type games is linked in the description. So with that, I bid you farewell. Peace.